It is April 13th. This is going to be the winner's night for the Independent Creator Comics Awards. We already have a bunch of winners in the back that we're going to be introducing to you as they came in this evening. We're going to talk about their project. We're going to fill the room, and if we have to, we're going to bounce some creators as it goes on through the night. This is going to be a good show tonight. We're going to talk a lot about stuff, but I wanted to start the show off right and discuss this, the fact that we have our final Hall of Creator recipient, the Indie Spirit Award creator and the Hall of Creator inductee, Madeline Holly Rising. For those who don't know, she has created a book about crowdfunding before anyone else was really talking about it. She's someone that I definitely follow. A very, very impressive woman. And right now, she has a Kickstarter live.
Hi, my name is Madeline Holly Rosing, and I'm the writer-creator of the steampunk supernatural series, Boston Metaphysical Society. Welcome to our Kickstarter to print the trade paperback of Volume 2. If you're not familiar with the series, it's about an ex-Pinkerton detective, a spirit photographer, and a genius scientist who battles supernatural forces in late 1800s Boston. Now, Volume 2 will compile the previously published sequels, The Scourge of the Mechanical Men, The Spirit of Rebellion, Ghosts and Demons, and The Book of Demons into one trade paperback. But what makes this trade special is that it will include an exclusive brand new 10-page story with art by Roberta Ingranata, who is currently drawing Doctor Who, and a cover by the amazing Marguerite Savage. And at 176 pages, it's going to be a huge trade paperback. If you're missing Volume 1, don't worry, as it'll be available in both print and digital versions. We also have a brand new steam engine lapel pin and special limited reward tiers that include our audio drama, The Ghost Ship. The best part is that it's done and ready to go to the printers. So please check out our reward tiers and pledge today. Thank you in advance for your support.
And I just wanted to mention the fact of everything that she's accomplished was so big, I can't even fit it all on the screen. She's had fellowships, she's won awards. Of course, this is now part of one of those awards she'll put on her very impressive page. So we look forward to talking to her in the future. She's just busy right now with her campaign, but you can find her in LinkedIn. We'll have information on our awards page. But as of right now, I want to start bringing in some amazing people talking about their campaigns and everything that's going on with them. So let's bring in the guests of the evening. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And there's actually one extra person in here. There we go. Wendy, your camera's not on, so she's there. And I'm the announcer voice, so I can turn my camera back on. I just want to do the announcer voice. Everyone that you see on this panel this evening has received a Creator Award. We're going to talk about their creation and all that. You can find everything to do with the awards, by the way, from now on under Comics Awards. That's COMIX Awards. There we go. Thank you. That look, by the way, Matt, that looks really good. You did a really. Where did you print that on the printer at home? That looks amazing.
No, it was actually professionally done. I outsourced.
You got to frame it. We're gonna be talking to everyone on the screen. There'll be more people, I'm sure, who are going to be popping in a few minutes to talk about it. Like I was saying, we're under Comics Awards right now because we're going to be putting on 2 awards show. So both are going to fall under that umbrella, the Independent Creator Awards and the Fandom Bubble. For anyone who's just tuning in right now and you don't know what the Fandom Bubble is, that's the people's choice. It is literally for everyone to vote on. And in the future, that will start our award season, and all the winners of the awards in the fandom will go on to the Independent Comics Creator Awards. That's it. I've done everything I have to do for the award season. I'm out. They're in charge. See this fear. The fear of everyone on their face when I left. We're going to start with the naughtiest fairy. Wendy, talk to us about your creation and what it is and how people can find it.
I did Naughty Fairies Stripper Assassins, and last year we did a Comic-Con. So we ran Naughty Fairies Comic-Con, and it was actually our 2nd year, and we just finished our 3rd year and are in the middle of fulfillment for that.
So now, how does it feel? Because you got the popular vote, basically, of everything that's going on. Like, how does that feel to know that you had a huge amount? As a matter of fact, you set a record for like a 1-day vote count that I've ever seen. Like, and with 1 day, you had like 75 votes within the first few hours. And I know everyone went to that page and was like, nope, not trying. I give up.
That makes you feel great. I mean, I have the most amazing fans, and I wanted to thank everyone who voted and took time to share and to promote the Independent Awards program, because I think having the ability to let the fans kind of pick their favorite, I think is really special, and I'm really honored and humbled by that. Yeah, we just, our comics are fun and they're dark. And when I got to do the convention for it, it was a lot of fun. The first year was in 2020, where we launched it and were fulfilling as everything shut down. So when I was fulfilling, people had just found out all their cons were canceled and they were getting their reward packages. So they got their badges, they got their books, they got lanyards, they got stickers, they got all the swag that they would have gotten at a convention. And, you know, each year the Naughty Fairy Con has increased and grown. So it's just been awesome to be able to do that for people at that time. And then each year it just has gotten bigger and bigger.
And you team up with some impressive people.
Yes, I have an amazing team as part of the Naughty Fairies family. And in fact, Steph and Carrie Ann are like the biggest part of that. And, you know, here we have Carrie and Steph, who both won for, I believe it was artist or colorist of the year and then pinup artist of the year. So I can't do what I do without them.
Yeah, an amazing group of people. You guys certainly bring the fandom. And I'll be honest with you, one of the great things about the awards, I'll be honest with everyone in the room, I hated awards. I was the worst person to put in charge of awards. I thought they were just friends handing friends pieces of paper. And I've seen a lot of what these things were, and I was complaining about them, to be honest with you. And someone told me, well, if you think you can do it better, why don't you go do it better? And I have to be honest, I think that you guys have all proved there's a better way to do it, involving the fans, involving your fan bases. And I had one person complain to me, and they're like, well, it's not fair that they get to have so many people back. And I'm like, you don't understand. You should be shutting up and watching them. These are the people to watch. The people who can get 80 votes in a day are the people you want to be studying and actually like social media stalking them to see how they're handling their social media. And I do want to announce right now, and I see Steph and Carrie are here with us. How you guys doing?
Hi.
I want to announce that this surprised me. The awards this season have generated over 10,000 views.
Wow.
I expected at most 5,000. That was like my hope for it, because we've been using different social media platforms and all that. But yeah, to hit, and we're over 10 already. I'm very happy to have all of you be part of this process, because the amazing thing about the awards is that it gives you more exposure. And I keep telling that. We had someone who's not going to join us tonight because he has to work, but Greg came in on the last day, rallied his troops, and won an award within 6 hours because it was the fandom bubble. And I was impressed by that man. I was like, I want to grow up to have his ambition to come in 5 hours before closing bell and be like, nah, I'm taking this. I don't care what the vote count is. I'm going to take it. So Steph, Carrie, you guys have generated a lot of views. Tell us who you are. Tell us what you run. Because you guys are always up to something. Always got something cooking.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, we run Bad Carrie Studios. Steph started in the business a couple years ago, and he needed somebody to color his work, so I decided to start coloring his work, and the rest is pretty much history.
Yeah.
We'll be having our 200th cover out this year, hopefully any day now. We've always got, I don't know, go ahead.
Well, we've always got covers on. We've always got art going up. We're on our 5th art book. But two things I want to say. One, Rob, thank you for doing these awards. It is a huge amount of work, and you can just see it just in the posting you have to do, let alone the background stuff that you have to do, the compiling and everything else like that. So really appreciative that you're out there putting these awards out there for indies, because otherwise, I mean, nobody else is doing it.
Yes. Fabulous.
And then the other thing, like you were saying, like with Greg coming in at that last minute, one thing I keep telling artists over and over and over again, you know, you can do art, but if you're not coupling that with some sort of social media presence, some sort of, I mean, you know, I'll look at my phone on Sunday, you know, when your phone beeps at you and tells you what your screen time is. And I'll see an average of 6 hours a day on my screen time, easy, in a slow week. So, you know, if anybody's looking to get their art there, they're looking to get their comics out there. It's not just posting what you do, which is like your artwork or your comic. It's going on to the media that you want to take advantage of and interacting with everybody on your media, like constantly comment on their stuff, chat with them about their stuff. It's not just when you do a project. Some of these comic creators and some of these artists, they do an artwork or they do a comic and they just throw it up there and they expect some sort of response. You got to use the media platforms the way they're designed.
Well, and to add on to that, it's, you know, social media is a great way to, you know, we've built an incredible fan base, as you can see by the amount of votes, and that is by being present and being true to ourselves. You know, we are who we are, and we like to interact in people's lives, and we get to know them, and we get to share with our lives, their lives, and we get to bring them what we love to do, and that's art. And, you know, we get to work with these great creators, but it's all done through the social media, and it's being true to yourself and being true to your friends and your fans that you have now built this community around.
Yeah, exactly. Build the friendships. If you're on there to post your stuff or promote your stuff, you're not going to get the algorithms. You're not going to get all the basic mathematical things. And like Wendy, who's on here, is our best friend. And how do we meet? Social media. So use your social media to develop the friendships that will become really important to your career.
And I just want to call out Steph. Steph is one of those guys, and as a creator in the room who's a writer, can't draw anything. Trust me, I've tried. We get a lot of artists who don't do anything. When our campaigns go on, even though it's their work, you have to beg them to actually just promote what they worked on. They should be proud of. I see Steph all the time, not just sharing what he's done, but literally cheerleading other people. And I'm very impressed by that. The fact that you put out that positivity in the world and really have built like an amazing following by just being a genuinely decent human being. Who would have figured that could be popular?
Right. Well, and you know, Carrie's the conscience, but I'm more of the social media whore. I'm the one who, you know, she doesn't have time for all that. She doesn't want to go on social media 6 hours a day. But here's the thing.
I would love to.
When I first got on and I was a nobody, I was sharing other people's work because to me, it's never, there's enough room at the table for everybody. And it's not about a competition. So if I share somebody else's work out and somebody buys that work or somebody supports that work, good. That's good for everybody. Like, it's not a competition. I'm not, you know, and I see something that I like or somebody's work that I like or somebody I know who's a really good person, I'll share their stuff out because that's what it's about. We're all in this together. From the day one, I was saying that we're all in this together. And if we don't feel that way, then it's just hurting you personally.
Yeah, well, we can't do what we do without the fans. We can't do what we do without the creators. And we can't do what we do without other artists because it builds a community.
Yeah. And we can't do what we do without the ICCA awards because this is huge.
I appreciate that. I am very happy that everyone has received it really well. So like you said, there's some work that goes into it. So I've always tried to run this as transparent as I can. I don't want anyone to feel like there's not people always working on it. I even have had an auditor every year we did this, who actually despite me running it, I have to actually run my ideas through someone just to make sure that I'm not taking advantage, stepping over a line. I have to actually do it. And one of the things I was very proud of, and that's my boy Matt here, who, by the way, we want to congratulate him this evening. He just successfully funded your last book of the, and it's so hard not to make the joke because what the book is, Moby Dick, giant success. That's closest to a joke I'm going to do this evening about that. He was a shower on Kickstarter. Okay, I promise that's the last joke. So he's successful on Kickstarter. Congratulations. And I also want to, Carrie, don't go anywhere because we're going to talk about 2-time award winners, as you were one of the first to win both awards in both the the two categories of fandom and the ICCAs. But for now, Matt, talk to us about that, because I know you printed it. I know you're proud of it. Tell me about the project. This just got funded, right? It's going to be a trade now?
Yeah, well, this is the 5th issue, and I haven't made any firm plans on whether to go with a trade or not. It's just too soon to say. Never say never, but it's just a little early to decide. But yeah, this is the final issue of the series, so the whole thing is done. And as I've said this probably countless times in interviews, but the one thing horror hates more than anything else is closure. So I'm not going to say the whale won't be back, but as of this story, it's definitely finished. And it's been a really cool experience, because like every Kickstarter has been somewhat bigger and more successful than the last one, and I was really hoping that would continue this time around, and it happened. This our final one was our biggest yet, and that's just really cool. And then on top of it, I keep showing it off, but we got an award, so yeah,
Awesome.
it's a cool
Very
finale
nice.
for all around. So yeah, thank you.
And I want to see Steph Wilson do the whale the way he draws his art.
Yes, I would love that.
But I do want to mention that, Carrie Ann, you have gotten an award for both actual shows. And that's pretty big. I mean, you were one of the first people to. I knew like weeks ahead because of the vote count, you were going to be winning. Like there are certain people, I made the award like a week before I even did the award show. I'm like, nothing's changing here, but picked it up both. And for those who wonder about the difference between this, is that to win the Independent Creator Awards, there was a jury of actual creators, fans who looked at it, and you competed with other people, and everyone agreed. And that's got to be a good feeling to know not only the fans picked you, which is great, but your peers, the people who look at comics every day. They're the ones, just like Matt, because that was your peers picking it, which is awesome. So for you, how good does that feel to be able to win it on both sides of the coin?
Completely humbling. It's just unbelievable. There is so many amazing colorists out there, and just to have people look at my work and just vote me to be the best colorist just is humbling. It's just amazing.
She was glowing for 3 days.
I have been glowing. I'm very excited about it.
I could only refer to her in the office as colorist of the year.
No, I was not that way. But no, it's just absolutely amazing, and I'm honored. I'm absolutely honored. I love what I do, and I'm glad that other people love it too.
And that's what's great about this program, is that it actually helps not only show everyone who's working very hard how this is happening, but the fact that hard work pays off. You do build that reputation. You do spend time. And Steph's no stranger to the awards either. I mean, Steph's a returning champ from year one. He's been picking up the awards. Do you think, and this is an important question, I want everyone to answer this, and we're going to go to Wendy. Do you think the awards are helping your career? Because I've gotten a couple people who told me it was night and day. Like they got an award and they just noticed it. And I always put it up to confidence, because I know it feels great when you get that vote. And I think they just go, like Matt's out there showing off that he's going to take it. I know he's going to take it to the con with him this year. And don't get it twisted. I'm taking every one of my awards. I'm making a book, and you can look through all of my awards. Yes, that's my award book. Thank you. You can just look at how great I am. But do you think that really does help? It gets you noticed more. I think the awards overall have. Obviously, we did 10,000 views. But for every one of you, do you think it's helped you?
I'll go first.
There we go.
I definitely, and because I knew it from last year as well, when we Carrie and I won live stream, best live stream of the year. It's not even something to brag about. It's just something that you can put up there with your work, with your presence on social media. It's like that little icing on that cake, that little ribbon that you can put up there. It's a recognition, and sharing that recognition. Like I've waited. I want the awards to settle down and stuff. But for the rest of the year, yeah, I will be bragging or at least showing off my award because it is important. It does mean something to me, especially the fan award for me, because those are the people I asked to vote for me, and I want them to see that their work paid off.
I agree. For me, within a day of the show, I had people reaching out to me that I have never worked with before and never heard of before, and building new relationships, which is amazing. Because I mean, most of my work has always been Steph's lines. I've done some other lines. I've done, some other artist lines, and I enjoy doing other people's work. So it's nice to for me, it was an outreach. And, I had like 2 or 3 different creators, like I said, reach out to me immediately. And, like, oh, we should do something. And so it was just amazing. It's building my circle.
What about you, Wendy?
It's an expansion of our family. I mean, I've always said since I started that, my comic book world is my family, and my family just keeps growing. And I just am so thankful to the fans who acknowledged all the hard work that we did put into the last campaign, because it is a huge undertaking. I mean, you don't even want to see my living room right now, because I have so many boxes of prepackaged stuff, because I'm waiting for this one last thing to put in, but everything's packed and ready to go. And to know that my fans have that they are appreciative of the work that I put in and were willing to take their time out to vote means so much. And I adore all the people that I've met through comics and the friendships that I've made, and that means a lot. And so I found that by winning the award, I had people reaching out to me like, okay, I need help with my Kickstarter. What can I do? What did you do? What have you done? What are some ideas that you have? And trying to help other creators who are just starting out, who haven't done this. This is like my 12th or 13th Kickstarter. And, each Kickstarter gets better and different, and I change things up, and I try to make it better. But by being able to be validated, I think, by the fans just means so much. It's more than, my Kickstarters are more than just money. That helps get the thing out, but it's everything else that goes into it that means the most. And when people are showing their appreciation this way, it just makes my heart so happy.
What do you think, Matt? Because being the award winner now, you get that nice plaque. I'm going to ask you off screen who you got to print that, so I'm going there. So, so do you think this is one of those things that's going to help your career? Is this something that you're going to advertise all over the place? Like me, I'm literally going to get a tattoo of one of them. Is this something that you're going to really cash in on?
Well, I'm not going to get a tattoo. I'm too much of a chicken to do that, but I am going to be pimping this thing out. Every convention I go to, this is going to have a prominent place on my table. I'm going to put it on my website. I've already pimped it out all over social media, because I want the world to know that I pulled this off. And as far as like an impact, I think I've already seen one, because I'm pretty sure just shortly after I found out that I won this thing, I saw some increased traffic on my Kickstarter. So I immediately felt a positive impact from it there, and I cautiously optimistic that that's going to carry forward, because I'm going to let people know this is an award-winning comic, guys. This is not just a little comic that I did. This is a comic that a lot of people thought had some merit and felt like it deserved a ribbon.
Now, you can't see her, but I assure you she's in the room, and I actually can make that happen so we can actually see when she talks. Wendy, you picked up an award this year for the short of the year. You actually beat out Chris, who's in the room right now. So behave, Chris. Behave, Chris.
Sorry, Chris.
It's all good. Good. I'm glad. Gives you something to go reach for next year.
And for those who don't know, Wendy, this is her first story she's ever put out, and she's already won an award. So I expect huge things from Wendy. She's a great person. Wendy, tell us a little bit about this story that's coming our way.
Oh, the one that won the award?
Yeah.
Well, I have a series that I started, or a book that I started. I finished the script back in 2019. Still working on trying to get that on Kickstarter. Should be next month. Well, it looks like everything's finally moving along the way it should. And this character that the short story was about is the main character of that book. Now, the short story is a little further down the timeline of her life. But I wanted to kind of show where the character was heading, to kind of show the fun, kind of sassy side of her that that's who she will be as she grows and learns and whatnot, to show people what to expect and what to look forward to as this character continues to grow through this series that I'm starting.
And this was put out through something different. What was this put out through, Wendy?
This was put out to the collective comic and gaming community, comic book store in Florida. I thought it was the coolest idea. So it's a comic book store. We've been there several times, and it's an amazing store. The employees are awesome. And I don't know if Danny was the one that actually came up with the idea, but Danny Morales, and I'm sure most of you all have seen him around on Facebook or whatever, but he kind of spearheaded the whole thing. And he decided, we sell indie books, so why don't we try to help the indie community by bringing in some new creators to create this anthology, and we'll publish it ourselves. And so they did that. They kickstarted it. I can't tell you who all was in the book because I don't remember right now. I do know that David Galliano had a story in there called Final Growth, and it was absolutely amazing. I keep asking him, "Where's the book? Where's the book? I want to read the book." But anyway, it was just really cool that they wanted to support indie creators in that way, and to give some writers and artists a chance to kind of get themselves out there. So I thought that was really, really cool.
That definitely sounds cool. And that's great to see comic book stores actually playing well with indie creators. That's not something we always see all the time. So it's a little hard sometimes to get in it. So congratulations, Wendy. I look forward to the book as well and the Kickstarter, and we'll have you on when we do the backer pause. And speaking of backer pause, we're just going to take a quick break and then come back and talk to Chris. I just wanted to give love to everyone who's actually on Kickstarter right now, because there are people with campaigns. So here's everything because this is normally our backer pause show on Wednesday nights, but this is where you guys voted for the awards show to go. So let's give some love to everyone on crowdfunding right now. From comicbookadvocates.com, where the love of comics comes first. It's time for the Back It List in a New York Minute, week 15. And yes, supply chain issues are still affecting paper for printers. Tesla Comics gives us Tales of Tesla. Award-winning Ed Davis gives us Immortal Era, 1 through 6. Another award winner, Nightwolf, number 1 through 6. Urban fantasy werewolf coming-of-age drama. The TikTok famous Fish Lee's Green Zone Life in the Blocks is live. You get this badass image for backing Nightwolf and White Ash, Deluxe Edition. Sacrifice some money to back Sacrifice, issue 1 through 3. Spectrum is live. Gotham, the Batman parody comics series. The Bar, issues 1 and 2 just launched. Sister of Mercy's back for number 6. Demon Bitch, You All Suck. The Boston Metaphysical Society, Volume 2, Where It Ends. And Trolls Have Been Exposed. And I promise there was no trolls that you would think being exposed in that book. Not that kind of exposure. Not that kind of exposure. All right, Chris, you're up, and you're a return winner from last year. This year you picked up some awards. So tell us about the experience, because you're just putting yourself out there in the world. And how has it been to be part of shows like this? Of course, you've been part of that comic book school anthology series for the last 2 years, and that's where this award comes from, correct?
Yeah, one of the awards comes from that, definitely. And it's like everyone said, it's like a personal validation. Being able to have fans makes my heart happy. It's one of those things where having people acknowledge that I can write and I can come up with a project and something like that, it gives good validation for me and a lot of confidence. Like this time last year, I was not talking to as many creators. I was not talking to as many fans. And my wife has been making sure, because she helps me run Tales Beyond. She's just like elbowing me, making sure it's like, go on, you got to run this social media. We got to get on point. And it's true. Social media is the best way to connect with fans. It's the best way to keep track of, who's keeping track of you. So yeah, I mean, all of it. From working with comic book school to working on my own stuff with Tales Beyond, it's really been awesome.
And there's the one for the Corrupted, but I really want to talk about Teddy's number 1, because that's through your own publishing wing. So tell us about Teddy's. What's Teddy's about?
Teddy's is Teddy's is close to my heart. Teddy's is about a teddy bear who decides that he has to go rescue another teddy bear from the nightmare world under a kid's bed. And yeah, it's not for kids, and that's what I wanted. It is the anti-kids type of comic, and I love everything about that. It's like within the page 3, you've got one teddy bear jumping off of a bed and, you know, hacking with a sword, a tentacle that's grabbing the kid and about to pull the kid underneath the bed. Blood is going everywhere, and it's like, oh, this is not for your kids. And that's the way I look at teddy bears. That's the way they should be envisioned, in my opinion. But yeah, I love teddy bears. It was the first thing I ever got as a kid, and I've always been inspired by, you know, Toy Story.
Right.
What do these dolls do when we're not around? And I think this was a great opportunity to tell like an adult version of Toy Story, even though I don't care what anyone says, Toy Story 3 will have me in tears like this, because those toys just break you. But yeah, the way, right? But the way I think of these teddy bears is they're supposed to be, you know, every child should have a teddy bear, and they are the guardians of children. It's like, what does a kid do when they're scared? Lightning strikes. Oh, they hug their bear. You know, it's dark. It's dark in the room. We got a little night light and my teddy bear. You know, mom or dad are yelling at me. Teddy bear, hug it. You know, and the premise for the story is that teddy bears are the guardians of children, and the bear that has to go into the nightmare world under the bed to rescue this other teddy bear, he doesn't want any part of it. He's just like, leave me alone. Don't bug me with this shit. And oh, sorry, I'm not allowed to say that. But yeah, and so it's a fun tale, and it's just getting started. It's been in the works for now, I think, like years. Yeah, as with anybody's first major story or something, you know, a lot of creators will tell you they spent years imagining it, getting it up and running. It's told in 2 chapters. The first chapter was drawn by Jim Webb, who's a heavy metal artist, and then the second chapter was drawn by Mike Ponce, who's a brand new up and coming artist. And so, you know, it was great to work with these awesome new creators and these people I've never met before. And it's all, you know, possible because of social media. I met Mike on Facebook. Just randomly reached out to him because I saw his artwork was awesome. I was like, dude, you up for a project? He said, yeah. He kind of helped out through comic book school. He was like, I need something to work on. I'm like, I like your style. Let me give you something. So yeah, it's like everyone said so far, it's community, and using the community, I've been able to expand and grow, and it's been awesome.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Works better if I'm not muted, right?
Just a bit.
Just a tiny bit. No, you can't read lips? I hope no one can, because they'll hear the cursing I do to my son. If you ever see me doing this, it's because I'm like, Jackson will kill you, and I don't want it on the video. I don't want the proof on the video. No, he's a good kid. He's a sweetheart. And now we're going to talk to Mike, the CEO of Continuum Comics. And Continuum Comics and some of the projects he's worked on actually did quite well this year. First, I'm going to let Mike introduce himself to the audience.
Hello, everybody. I'm the CEO of Continuum Comics. We just made our first year. Also dropped my first creator-owned book, which was Eclipse, that came dropped in January. I've been really excited about the back press that we've been getting for it. A lot of positive feedback, a lot of excitement from it, and I'm currently working on the second issue and a few other stories that expand from that world. So it's exciting. I'm enjoying the whole journey.
And for those who don't know, while Mike has been an artist for a good amount of time, that was his first time actually putting out a book and having a book attached to him. The following awards we're going to go through, he's had something to do. He's been part of the Cat Dad and Supermom journey as he's done covers, including, for those who don't know, Cat Dad has now released its second issue with a coloring book cover. And if I was smarter, I'd have it with me, and I'll probably try to sneak out and get it while we're going over some of these awards and someone's talking. So it's literally right there, but I might or might not be wearing pants. I'm going to let the audience decide which one it is. And then he did an amazing job on both issues. And that coloring book cover, Jax is already coloring, and it's the best part of my life to see my son working on a book that I made for him. And he started off on a journey of autism where he wouldn't read a book, and now he's trying to read the words and ask what the words are and drawing on the cover. So that's amazing. And then it picked up the All Ages Award, so I can't be more thrilled to have Mike behind that. He's actually coming over now to me, doing something behind me. And then we had Anthology of the Year. Can you just explain some of the Anthology of the Year for this, for those who don't know? I'm going to put you up here on the box, so you can just explain the work that we put into this anthology.
So the story has 6 different stories. It has an anime story, legacy, like a spinoff of Legacy of the View, but with more anime action feel. And that's from a indie creator that's been doing a lot, very talented. So the story is very creative, because I wanted to bring in something that if you guys may love or not love anime and manga, but it's huge. It's a big deal. Everywhere we go, it's there. So whether you're classic hero, Marvel, DC background, anime is here and it's here to stay. So I wanted to implement that into the book, as well as we got a story called 8-Ball Hardcore. It was an introduction of a hero character, but the story elements and the way the story plays out has a very American / anime feel as well, because the energy in the story is amazing. We got Heroing by the Hour that Rob is one of the writers for. All of them are tales that tells a little different twist on heroic stories, because whether we like it or not, it consumes us. Any hero type of story, we've somehow jumped in, whether we're watching something on Netflix, whether we're watching Disney Plus. It's a part of our zeitgeist for sure. So I wanted to, all these 5 different stories are in there. And I think, well, actually 6 stories, because one of the stories is a 1-page story from another
George Gant, who actually won an award.
Yeah.
For, believe it or not, he won the webcomic of the year right there. George Gant. So he did an amazing job. We also had, and you didn't mention, a milestone of a creator part of us. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, one of the creators, I've known him for a while, so I'm blessed to be able to have him actually do a cover for Eclipse. And he's just was when they had the Milestone DC initiative, of the thousands that applied, he was one of the top 24, and only I think 10 artists were chosen for the project for the DC Milestone initiative, and he was actually picked for it. So I feel so stoked that we have the first 8 pages of his book in our book, and the fact that we have his character, we have his story. So it's really exciting to see those things and being able to do something like that. And like it's our first year, really our first full year, to have that all in one book at the beginning is just like, wow, that's kind of feels really good. Like we're looking for the right kind of talent. We want to showcase people. So we're always looking for new talent. And it's like, if they're right at the cusp, and literally they were right at the cusp where I got them right at the right time. All these guys are so talented and are going to go on and do bigger things. We just hope they remember us.
And MD McDonald, first time ever, he has Sequential Art, another great artist. So the book was amazing in my opinion. And not because of my work, but because of everyone I got to be in a book with. And sometimes doesn't that feel great, guys, when you're in a book with these talented people and you can't believe you're lucky enough to say that you worked with them? That's how I feel about a lot of the stuff that's been coming out.
I only did 2 pages in the book.
Yeah,
it was like 45, is it 45, 50 pages?
52.
52 pages in the book. And I did 2 of the pages. But I'm just happy to say, yeah, I did 2. It's always like all the creators that's in it is phenomenal kind of thing. So I'm happy to be in the same breath of the guys that were in that book.
It's always fun to tell your CEO, don't worry about the page count, it'll be fine. So Red, by the way, I want to give a shout out to Red and Chris, who made the shows amazing by co-hosting with me. Both of them did an amazing job, so I want to just show some love to both of them. Thank you for the efforts, and I want to keep going with having these co-hosts be part of it. Because again, this is to level everyone up to a bigger audience because we rise together. I say it all the time. I mean it. I show it with the things I do. I don't just talk the talk. I walk the walk. And we do a lot of work to help people. And that to me, this is the new way for me to advocate for people, to build a anthology series that's really not an anthology because it's literally letting everyone have that ability to showcase what they're doing. There are very few rules. It can be 2 pages. It can be 10 pages. Mm-hmm. It's just got to meet the sniff quality of the guy, right? That dude that way, all the way on the other end. He's the guy who sends me to be the mean guy and reject him. I want everyone in. And then Mike's like, they're not good enough. I'm like, okay, Mike, I'll be the bad guy.
I'm not saying they're not good enough. They're just not ready yet. And I want everybody to get there. But that's part of what we were looking at comic book school, to have the opportunity to hone those people that are right there at the cusp. They just need some sharpening of edges and stuff like that. And we'd love to eventually have them in as a 2 to 8 page story in it.
So now this one's funny. We won the best Comic-Con display. Mike was there for that show for all of 6 hours. And when he gets there, he starts giving me orders on how to redress the table. And I'll be honest with everyone in the room, I literally put this up and forgot I'd put this one up. I had done like 30 versions in a year of different table settings. And I was just like, oh, this one's cute. This will do. I never thought we were going to win the award for this one, but I am proud of it. That was an interesting show. It also showcased a lot of my stuff. And even though I'm redoing some banners this year, I just love that one banner with Barbara up there. But I'm proud for this. I finally won. Like, I haven't been able to actually win. And I've tried for 3 years. This was the 1 year I didn't take it serious. I was like, nah, I'm not going to win. I'll just put something up. And then that's the year I won. So, and of course, Continuum being out there, that's nice too. And then this is again, he worked on this, and I'm big and fat. That's all I see in this photo is I'm big and fat. Every time I don't want to go to the gym, I just look at this photo. So we're gonna move on. Then Mike Seeley got to get the art piece of the year, which I'm surprised Steph didn't join that earlier. I really thought Steph was going to be on that. He somehow missed that.
What, the art piece of the year?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta let other people win.
Fair enough. I appreciate that. That's my character, and what Mike did with this character is amazing, and I can't give him enough credit.
I had a vision on that one. When I wanted to draw that character, I just wanted that backdrop, kind of just because he's a tough character, and I just wanted to show that meanness up there. There's like, if you see somebody perched up there, you don't want them, you don't want to mess with them. So I wanted to give off that air. So
now I know why he always takes pictures of me at times. He's like, I'm gonna use this for later. So we also Continuum Comics picked up Indie Publisher of the Year, which was unexpected. But I think it's just the type of stuff we're putting out there, and I'm proud that people thought that we earned it in our first year. I remember telling Mike I didn't think we earned it yet, and there's the Old Ages of the Year, which of course Mike was. That's the actual one where he had another cover on too.
Yeah.
And I just want to give a shout out because he couldn't make it tonight. I actually did talk to him when I picked up Cat Tattoo yesterday. I told him I'd give him the shout out because he couldn't be here. Printer of the Year, again, I want to remind all creators on a serious note, all of these printers are struggling with paper shortages. Be patient with them. Don't be rude. The paper shortage is going to go away, but your relationship with that printer is going to go away with it. So that when they're going to have paper, they're not going to want to work with you. Stop trying to expect them to recreate the world and solve the world's problems just so you can have your comic book a week or two early.
Yeah, shout out to them because they did everything to get us what we needed, and bending backwards to try to fulfill whatever needed to fulfill because of the paper issues they were really dealing with. So,
and we are actually joined by, and you guys just met Mike, our boy Ed Davis is here. Ed, tell him who you are, what you worked on, and what you won for. I think Ed's
Davis, I'm the writer I'm the writer of the ongoing series Immortal Era, currently kickstarting issue 6. And it's a post-apocalyptic story that's set 200 years in the future in a world where no one can die. And it's a quest for a group of heroes to save humanity by killing them.
Isn't it still crowdfunding?
It is. It's on Kickstarter right now until Sunday. So it closes, I think it's like 6 o'clock on Sunday. So I made it close on Easter. Not the best call, but Easter keeps shifting around and it caught me off guard.
I would disagree. You're talking about people being resurrected. What better day would be for the end of your campaign but Easter? I can't believe you didn't do that on purpose. I actually was giving you a lot of credit. I was like, that's clever. Yes. Yes.
I take it back. It was all on purpose, 100%.
So as of right now, I want to. I want to read this too. I don't know who wrote this. I'm sorry, I'm getting Facebook user on my end. I want a shout out to Luis Torres, creator of the Little League Demonist, the winner of the Indie Comic of 2021. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here tonight. Steph Wilton is here accepting the award on his behalf. He's already got the award, I promise. And then he said Indie Comic of 2021. But yeah, he's a great guy. Steph Wilson, apparently, we'll put him up here. Do you formally accept for him?
I do formally accept for him because Lewis is notoriously never on live streams. So I'll stand in his place for that award.
Fair enough. And I just want to thank everyone for not slapping each other when you didn't like each other's jokes. That's awesome. Thank goodness there were no slaps. I don't want to have to spend 3 weeks talking about having to take awards back from people if they slap someone. As a matter of fact, I'd encourage slapping people. I was like, well, what if we did that more? Would that solve some problems? All right. I want to honestly just, you're all amazing. And I'm not just saying that because you're here. One of the best things is that I know every single one of you and I've watched your careers. But every year I meet someone new through the awards, if not several people. We had a lot of people come out of nowhere. Nathan, for the lettering, did an amazing job, just came in. Again, one of those guys who got hundreds of likes just out of nowhere. He was a great, I actually wished he was going to be here. We had some great people show up on the awards this year. But what I want to do right now is, because we're at 47 minutes, I want to spend time with you guys who showed up tonight, telling us what's next and telling us how to follow you on social media. So the way we'll do this, we'll go in the order that only I know the order everyone came in. So it's going to be weird. We're going to do like that suddenly you're on the screen and you have to say something. Oh man, imagine having to be the first one that does that. I'm glad it's not me.
Hi, so I have next is a Luna Tales, which is an all ages book about a baby dragon who is dreaming to be a hero. And that'll be coming out hopefully the end of this month. As soon as I'm fulfilled with Naughty Fairies, it will be time for Luna Tales. So I'm super excited about that. You can find us at Luna Tales Comics on Facebook. If you're interested in the Naughty Fairies series, you can find us at Naughty Fairies Stripper Assassins or just Naughty Fairies, both on Facebook, and Instagram is Naughty Fairies and Twitter is Naughty Fairies.
All right. Up next for me is I'm returning to literary novels. I've got a series of young readers books called the Zombie Source series, where 3 kids in a small town, just like yours, I'm sure, have to deal with otherworldly creatures. And the first one they dealt with was a zombie source Rex. Then they dealt with vampire velociraptors. And then they dealt with a Werosaurus. So there's a 4th monster on the horizon that I'm looking to pit them up against. And that will be the next adventure on the horizon for me. And you can find out all about that by following me on my various social media channels. There's Twitter, got that one right over here. We go. The Match Shore. I'm also on Instagram at The Shore, and you can also hit me up on TikTok. That's the 1 Matt Shore. That's the numeral 1 Matt Shore, and of course everything is on my website, mattshore.net.
Me. All right. My next project coming up, I've got 2 really big projects on the way. One is Wizards. It's a story about 2 spy organizations competing for magical masks as they cross the world for them. The magical masks give the wearers certain powers of gods, and the one organization wants to hide them from humanity, while the other, they want to do some more nefarious things. So yeah, Wizards is on its way. It's being written by myself, and it's being drawn by Mauri Ordonez, who is an amazing new talent who I can't say enough things about. And the other major story coming out of Tales Beyond is being, co-published or brought to the light of the world with Comic Book School's Beeline Comics. It's called Ward the Veil. And it's my opportunity to finally work with an artist who's also been part of the Comic Book School anthologies, Jared Elvin, whose artwork is 50 Shades of Incredible. And it's the story is basically about modern day ghost hunters trying to solve a crime about a dead babysitter. And it's looking like it's going to be a really solid project. The project's also being edited by Greg Herdling, who's a 90s era Marvel editor, writer, and he's been helping out the project amazingly. So look forward for that in like 2 months or so. If you want to follow me, I'm on talesbeyond.com is my website. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's Tales Beyond. If you want to follow me personally, it's Chris.Burgos. Both are fun accounts. Yeah.
Hi. Yes.
So we're on a couple Kickstarters coming up. Primal's coming out on Friday with Eric Allen Nelson. Totally Rad Comics is launching on Thursday. Lewis is going to be launching Whispers in Acropolis soon. I've got a cover on Wendy's Luna Tales. I think there's 4 more projects in the next 2 weeks that we have a cover on.
We also have a sketchbook that our 5th sketchbook is now available on our website, Artbook, and lots of other great goodies that we have up on the website.
And our 6th art book will be out in about a month or so.
Yes.
So we're not too far behind on that one either.
But you can find us on Facebook, Steph Wilson, Carrie Ann, the Steph Wilson on Instagram. You can go to stephwilsonart.com for our website, and I think that's about it.
And like I always say to everybody, if you need to find me on social media, I'm not doing my job because I'll find you usually first. So, yeah, you don't have to go to my sites. Just message me.
Excuse me. I haven't talked very much, so my throat was dry. I have my book, Viscarian Tales, Marauder's Masquerade, coming out on Kickstarter at the end of next month. That will be a 24-page comic plus a 100-page novella that tells the same story but more fleshed out and in detail. So there's something for, depending on what kind of reader you are, you can get either one or both. Got Belial 3 coming out, which I edited. Should be coming out probably in June. The art is done. They're working on the inks and whatnot right now. I have Cthulhu Invades Wonderland. I have a story in there, and I'm also a proofreader on that. It ends tomorrow. So if you haven't gone and backed that on Kickstarter, you're almost out of time, so go do that.
Is there a website? Wendy, is there a website they can use to get to that quicker?
For what, sorry?
To get to the Kickstarter, like some of us use a URL, so it's a link. Do they have one for that?
For mine, I have a pre-launch page up. I don't have a special URL for it, so you can go to my page on Facebook, and if you just scroll through, it's on there. You can also go to Bonfire Press on Facebook, and the link will be in there. And so there's the pre-launch page for that. And Cthulhu is CthulhuInvades.com. Will take you to the Cthulhu Invades Wonderland Kickstarter. And you can follow me on Facebook at under Wendy Gale or Bonfire Press. I'm also on Twitter at Wendy Gale. I have Instagram, but I'm almost never on there, so don't bother. And if you have any questions, just shoot me a message.
So I'm Ed Davis. My next project right now, I'm just kind of all in on issue 6 that's currently on Kickstarter of Immortal Era. But issue 7, we're already halfway done with the artwork. So I'm trying to keep things moving and get new issues out every every few months as fast as the indie schedule will permit. But I'm also putting together the first trade because issue 6 closes out the first story arc of Immortal Era. So when this one concludes, as soon as I finish all the rewards, we'll be launching issue 7 and the trade together in one big campaign. So you can catch up, get the trade, and continue with the next part of the story. I'm also working on a story, Juror 13 with Luke Stone. So that'll be published in 6-page increments throughout different publications that he's working with. So that story is something that it's his idea and I'm doing all the writing on it. So something I'm excited about. And then hoping to launch a few more titles this year that are in development. They're just not in any phase of finished. So those ones, hopefully by the end of the year, we'll see a few new titles. One family-friendly one, because I got to write something my students can actually read. And if you want to find me, look on Kickstarter, just search up Immortal Era, and you'll find us there. I'm also on Finish Line Comics on Instagram and also on Twitter, although my Twitter is pathetic. I'm trying to get better at it. And then Facebook, all under Finish Line Comics. So check it out.
Hello. Yeah, our next project that's coming out is The Expanse, or actually Continuum presents The Expanse. So we're expanding on stories that we've already introduced, but we're
Mike, what's the next one coming out from Continuum?
The Expanse.
Are you sure about that? You just don't want to talk about it. That's what it is. He's gonna be all shy if he has to explain this one. That's why I put him on the spot.
Comics Unleashed. We're from our Comics Unleashed brand. We're gonna have the Desire Index, which is a BDSM survey. So that's definitely Rob's department. So I'm sorry I missed that.
Tell us some of those questions that are going to be in the book. I mean, you've read some of it.
I have read some of it. I had to proofread some of it and make sure it looks the part. So, so that's exciting. If that's your
read, that's
if that's your elixir of entertainment. So,
all right, I'm playing with you. Go ahead, tell them about Expanse.
Yeah, so The Expanses, we have I think 5 stories that we have set up for that. They're all going to be, there's 6 to 8 pages. I'm excited because some of them are continuation of our original Continuum Presents, where we'll find out a lot more about Wolf and Fox. Also inside the story is going to be heroing continuation from Heroics. All of its expanding universes, and that's why The Expanse is the reason for it. You can reach us at and keep track of what's going on through continuumcomics.com. We have social media as far as on Instagram, which is Continuum Comics. Also, Eclipse is out now, and you can go to _Eclipse_comics. And also, there's a website for all of those as well. So there's links, but you can find everything you need at continuumcomics.com, and you can purchase all our books that are out currently under We Are Comics with COIMIX.com.
And just closing out, I want to congratulate again Madeline Holly Rosing. Our Hall of Creators is amazing. I want to thank everyone who took time today to show up, and it wasn't just Mike. I swear there's more. So here we are. I want to thank everyone who showed up tonight. You're all amazing. You make the awards worth doing. We're going to be back next year again. All the awards are now under the umbrella of Comics Awards. That's COMIX. To give credit to the people who started underground comics that actually gave way to the independent comics and now makes creators like us feel like just comics creators. We've all begun to get to the point where we don't really need to say anything, but we create comics, right? That's what we do. We create comics. Next year's awards, exciting. The reason we announced something tonight, next year, the FANDOM Bubble Awards will have a for the Hall of Creators. We're going to work out the details because we're not just going to put anyone into the Hall of Creators. They're going to have to hit certain milestone marks, like Madeline and everyone else has been put in. They've done amazing things to help rise the comic book industry, especially on the independent creator side. We will be back in the summer to talk about how to improve it. You guys, your voice really matters to me, and that's why we continue to go. I want to thank everyone who voted, everyone who watched, who got us to over 10,000 views. I hope you all make $1 million because of it. And that's it. We'll see you later this year when we start the whole process again on Black Friday.